Good morning, my dear students. How are you? Okay, you are all fine, and I am also fine. Have you read the lesson which I taught in the previous class? Have you got a clear idea? Yes. Okay. You have sent that all question answers to me. I have checked it. Very good. Keep it up. So let's go to the lesson. Before going to the lesson, tell me, where do we stop? Where do we stop the last lesson? Yes, the boy was watching, or he was going to watch a fight. Between whom? Yes, it was between a cobra and a mongoose. Okay, now they are both standing in a open area. The boy was on the top of a tree. He was lying on that tree and watching it. Okay? Okay. So let's go to the lesson. Cobra knew only too well that the grey mongoose, 3 feet long, was a superb fighter, clever and aggressive. So this paragraph is telling about how this cobra regards. How does the cobra regard his opponent? How does the cobra regard his opponent? That mongoose, 3 feet long mongoose, who is a superb fighter. He is clever and also aggressive. Aggressive means quarrelsome or very vigorous or energetic. He is very energetic. But the cobra was skillful and experienced fighter too. He could move swiftly and strike with the speed of light, and the sacs behind his long, sharp fangs were full of deadly venom. Then, what was the power of that cobra? That is what telling here. But the cobra was skillful. He was also very skillful and experienced fighter. He fought with many other mongoose, in which he won. Now he is standing in front of this mongoose. So he is a good fighter. Then he could move swiftly. He could move swiftly. Swiftly means speedily. Swift means very speed. Telling about the speed. Then he could this cobra could move speedily whenever the mongoose attacks him. So he has that power. Then, like what? With the speed of what? Speed of a light. Light, you know, it is very fast. So he can move very speedily, and also the sacs behind his long, sharp fangs. The sac means bag. Bag of what? Not big bag, small bag. Bag of what? Long, sharp fangs. Fangs means the hollow tooth of venomous snake. Yes, there are very strong teeth inside the mouth of who? That's cobra. And just behind that teeth, what will be there? There will be a what there will be a sac. A sac means small bag, we can say, that is full of what? Venom is there. So whenever that cobra bites a human being or any animal, what will happen? That venom from that bag will inject to that human body or that animals or another opponent's body. So that is full, is very strong. So we can say here we are going to see a very interesting and a fight between two fighters. They are very experienced fighters. Okay, it was to be a battle of champions. So we can say it was to be what? It was to be a battle of champions. Both are champions. Who? Mongoose and cobra, both are champions. They fought against many enemies and won. Now they are here. Who will win? That is what we are going to find out. Hissing defiance, his forked tongue darting in and out, the cobra raised 3 of his feet off the ground and spread his broad, spectacled hood. The mongoose bushed his tail. The long hair on his spine stood up. In the past, the very thickness of his hair had saved him from bites that would have been fatal to others. So, they are going to ready. They are getting ready, we can say. They are getting ready for the fight. Hissing defiance. Defiance means the challenge. So, hissing means that cobra is getting ready by what? By pushing out the air. Hissing his forked tongue of a cobra or snakes, that is forked. Forked means we can say what? That is divided into 2. So that is darting. Darting means moving out, speedily moving. That is what darting. So it is moving. How? Moving very speedily in and out. So the tongue of the cobra is moving out and in and out. And then the cobra raised 3 of his 6 feet off the ground. Then the cobra raised for 3 of his 6 feet off the ground. 6 feet cobra. So 3 of his height. It is standing what like, or that hood is 3 feet now. And then that cobra spread his broad. Broad means vast. Spectacled. Spectacled means here outstanding hood. Then what? That snake stood on its hood, means it is very long cobra, a big one, standing on its hood. Then the mongoose bushed his tail. The other side, who is standing? That mongoose is standing. How does the preparation of that mongoose? The mongoose bushed his tail. Bushed means what? Spread out and made like a bush. His tail is now like a bush plant. It's very straight. So his tail is standing there like a bush, a straight one. Then the long hair on his spine. The long hair on his spine. Spine means a backbone. Stood up. That hair on his backbone stood up because they are going to start their fighting. In the past, the very thickness of his hair had saved him from bites. Before some days or some years, that mongoose body was fully covered with the hair. That would have been fatal to others. Now it is not like that. Now there is no such thickness. But whatever it may be, mongoose is also standing very in a good position to attack whom that cobra. So both are ready. Though the combatants were unaware of my presence in the banyan tree, they soon became aware of the arrival of two other spectators. One was a myna and the other was a jungle crow, not the willy urban crow. They had seen these preparations for battle and had settled on the cactus to watch the outcome. Had they been content only to watch, all would have been well with both of them. Then what he's saying, though the combatants were unaware of my presence in the banyan tree. My means here, that boy or other, where is he? He is there on the banyan tree. This cobra or mongoose didn't see our other who was lying on the banyan tree. But two other members were there. Who were they? But they soon became aware of the arrival of two other spectators. Then this cobra and mongoose, both of them knew two other spectators were there to see that fight. Who were they? One was a myna, then other was a crow. That crow was not whom the willy urban crow. It was that rural crow. Then they had seen these preparations for battle. Both of them, myna and that crow, both of them were watching that preparations of these two members, whom cobra and mongoose, and had settled on the cactus. Cactus plant I told you in the previous class. They were standing on that cactus bush and to watch the outcome. Outcome means result. They were waiting. Why? Because this fight will result on the death of any of this cobra or a mongoose. So they are waiting. Okay. Had they been content only to watch, all would have been well with both of them. They are going to watch that fight. They are very happy. Okay. The cobra stood on the defensive, swaying slowly from side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose into marking a false move. But the mongoose knew the power of his opponent's glassy, unwinking eyes and refused to meet them. Now our author, who is going to clearly explain the fight between that cobra and mongoose, each and every movements of these cobra or the mongoose, that is what explained very clearly. Let us find out that. The cobra stood on the defensive. Now cobra is standing on the defensive, not attacking. Swaying slowly. Swaying means swaying. It was just swaying its hood and from side to side. You can, if you have watched a fight, you can see that that cobra, that snake will move like this. So that is what they are. That is moving its head from side to side, trying to mesmerize the mongoose. Mesmerize means attract strongly. So that just to attack, attract whom that mongoose. If it moves, that mongoose also move to this area and thus the here, and in that way he will lose the concentration. Who? That mongoose. For that, the mongoose into making a false move. So whenever the cobra moves like this, you know what will happen? That mongoose will be confused. So he will make a false move, and then what will happen? That cobra will attack him and kill that mongoose. So the cobra is waiting for that. But the mongoose knew the power of his opponent's glassy, unwinking eyes. But at the same time, mongoose knew very clearly what? The power of his opponent. The power of whom? The power of the glassy. Glassy means like a glass. Unwinking eyes. Unwinking means steady eyes, and refused to meet them. Then who knew? That mongoose knew that idea, tricks of whom? The tricks of this cobra. So he did not move, just stayed there. Instead, he fixed his gaze at a point just below the cobra's hood and opened the attack. Then mongoose, without moving, without any move, he just what happened? Gazed. Gazed means looked fixedly at her, at a point just below the cobra's hood. Just below the hood of what? Just below the hood of cobra, who that mongoose gazed fixed. His look was fixed on were just below the hood of that snake, and opened the attack. Opened means started the attack. Moving forward quickly until he was just within the cobra's reach, he made a feint to one side. Immediately the cobra struck. His great hood came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly to one side and darted in as swiftly as the cobra, biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. Then what? Moving forward quickly until he was just within the cobra's reach. Then what? That mongoose moved forward. Now he is standing just very close to that cobra. He made a feint. A feint. Feint means a deceive by a mock action. Feint means deceive. Deceive means cheat. Cheat by a when one wrong action. Just he thought of moving, but just thinking to move this side, but will not move. Then what will happen? If we just suppose the mongoose is what acting like moving to this side, from this side, then what will happen? That cobra will attack to this side. Yes, no? That was happened. Immediately the cobra struck. Then the mongoose just showed like moving to this side. Then that cobra attacked to this side. Then what happened? He will miss, no? Can he bite that mongoose? No. So his great hood came down so swiftly that I thought nothing could save the mongoose. Then what? That mongoose acted like moving to this side, and that cobra attacked the same side. Then what means? Our other, that boy, who thought that cobra must have got a bite on that mongoose. But the little fellow jumped neatly on one side. But what happened? That mongoose acted like moving to this side and jumped to other side and darted. Dart means moved speedily in as swiftly as the cobra. That cobra acted very speedily. The same speed the mongoose also moved. Then biting the snake on the back and darting away again out of reach. Then what? Then that mongoose moved to acted like moving to the one side. Then that cobra attacked him to this side. Then that cobra's head fell on the ground. At that time what happened? That mongoose moved, he did not move that side, it jumped to this side. Then what? And then the mongoose just got a chance to bite on his head of whom? That cobra. Because that cobra didn't get time to stand up. Okay, in that way what? In that way that mongoose played a trick on this cobra and moved, and without getting a chance to stood up, that mongoose attacked him, got a bite on the head. Then the moment the cobra struck, the crow and the myna hurled themselves at him, only to collide heavily in mid-air. Striking at each other, they returned to the cactus plant. The moment the cobra struck, the cobra struck on whom? That mongoose. No, that time the crow and the myna hurled. Hurled means they threw them something firmly. Means hurled themselves at him. Both of them moved towards where? That cobra, only to collide heavily in mid-air. But they both of them collide. Collide means they hit heavily. These two, myna and that crow, they both of them hit each other and shrieking. Shrieking means they made a scream, they cried at each other. They returned to the cactus plant. They thought who that cobra might have got bite on whom? That mongoose, and they went to take that what, or eat that dead body of whom? That mongoose, but they didn't get. Okay, so here we can stop. So that fighting started. You have to read that fighting, that explanation very carefully. I think you have got a clear idea. So you know, as usual, you have to read the side question answers and you have to send me those answers to my personal WhatsApp number. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you.